Sunday, Perry Mason is back in an all-new movie premiere. But is this the case he can't win?
Your Honor, I object.
A nun is accused of murder, and Perry must risk his life.
Really?
Raymond Burr, Barbara Hale, an all-star cast, an all-new movie. Perry Mason in the case of the notorious nun. Sunday.
I'm Sally Fitz.
And I'm Peter Ford, and we're celebrating South Florida at Century Village in Pembroke Pines. Coming up tonight, fierce weather batters South Florida.
And what's wrong with our criminal justice system, and how condo communities like this are flexing their political muscle.
These stories and more as we continue to celebrate South Florida next on News Center 7 tonight.
This is how many parents all across America find out about the Apple IIc. Parents buy their kids an Apple IIc because Apples are the leading computers used in schools. Then they discover how easy it is to set up and use, how it can help them with things like business and home finance, and how that can help them spend more time with their kids.
Hi, Dad.
You want to play? Take the lead in the all-new Jeep Wrangler. Added comfort, better mileage, and always tough enough to be a Jeep. You can win one of 8 new Jeep Wranglers in the great McDonald's Jeep giveaway. Get your official entry blank with every McDonald's value pack or at your South Florida Jeep Renault dealers. Get your hands on a Jeep Wrangler. It was made to be played.
From Miami Vice to music videos, Philip Michael Thomas does it all. Now, Entertainment Tonight discovers the man behind the mystique in our revealing look at one of the new macho men of TV. Then, get a head start on your weekend entertainment plans with our exclusive preview of the new home videos you'll want to take home. Plus, part 2 of our special look at all the hot new summer movies coming soon to a theater near you. It's all right here and only on Entertainment Tonight.
Tomorrow night at 7:30 on WSVN. WSVN Channel 7, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
We're with you night and day, so there's no need to wait. Celebrate, South Florida, celebrate. Celebrate.
From locations around South Florida, this is a special edition of News Center 7 with Sally Fitz, Peter Ford, meteorologist Bob Soper, and Bret Lewis with sports.
Good evening, live from Century Village in Pembroke Pines as we continue to celebrate South Florida.
Since its grand opening 2 years ago, 4,000 people have moved into this 724-acre mini-city. Eventually, 15,000 will live here.
Century Village is already making a political impact on Pembroke Pines. Tonight, we'll talk to the mayor about the growing voting cloud of residents here.
But first, bad weather is storming through South Florida tonight. High winds and heavy rains created havoc all across our community. In Miami, heavy rains flooded out this rug store, ruining millions of dollars worth of Oriental rugs. The bad weather also battered this home on Northwest 71st Street, where a tin shelter collapsed, but luckily nobody was injured. The high winds and heavy rains also downed trees and branches, littering streets with debris. And rush hour went from bad to worse on I-95 tonight. Traffic slowed to a snail's pace, and there were dozens of minor accidents. Meteorologist Bob Soper has been watching all this weather all night, and he'll be here a little bit later with the latest on it.
Tonight, Fort Lauderdale police want to know why they keep arresting the same criminals. News Center 7's Broward reporter Don Dare says they're trying to prove the judicial system is a revolving door. Here's Don's Nightside report.
Fort Lauderdale police make 16,000 arrests a year, but the vast majority of those people don't go to jail. Police say too many criminals end up back in the street. They want to know why they're spinning their wheels.
It makes not only me, but the policeman on the street who's dealing with these people each day very frustrated.
Police are going to conduct a study to show what happens to offenders, to find out why so many of them get out of jail so quickly.
There is a revolving door. It's not the police's fault. They must, under their duty, arrest those that break the law.
Judge Arthur Francis says more jail space can help assure that criminals stay behind bars longer. Last year, the federal court ordered a cap on the number of prisoners the Broward jail system can hold.
Unfortunately, there is no substitute for jail space, and we don't have enough jail space. We're overcrowded. So we have an intense, acute, electrifying, scary problem.
The 3-month police study will follow criminal suspects from the street to the court. The police want to find out, are they botching the cases or the judges? The judges hope the police will consider what happens to the criminals once they're sent to jail. In Fort Lauderdale, Don Dare, News Center 7, tonight.
Tonight, police in Delray Beach say they're close to making an arrest in a firebombing there. 5 people were hurt yesterday when their houses were firebombed. Police say some members of the Yahweh religious sects are suspects in the bombing. Police and the people in the neighborhood where the bombings happened say a member of the sect was beaten up there recently while soliciting. Kids playing with matches are being blamed tonight for a huge fire in Miami. Tonight, a shell is all that's left of an abandoned orange juice warehouse at Northwest 27th Street and 2nd Avenue. Firefighters were hampered by burning tires in the building. Luckily, nobody was hurt.
Tonight, 5 Cuban refugees are in the custody of the Immigration Service after trying to float to freedom. They drifted aboard a homemade raft before being picked up today, about 40 miles off Key West. The men say they were at sea for 5 days and had no food or water in that time. And officials say they're suffering from exposure tonight. They're recovering at the Chrome Avenue refugee camp. Survivors of the sunken sailing ship Pride of Baltimore are also recovering tonight. They arrived in Baltimore today after surviving 5 days on a lifeboat when the tall ship capsized suddenly off the coast of Puerto Rico last Wednesday. Tonight, the search continues for the missing captain and 3 crew members.
Tonight, the Dade County School Board is taking steps toward dismissing 3 teachers and suspending 2 others. The 3 facing dismissal are accused of making sexual advances toward students and with check forgery. The other 2 educators are being suspended for unauthorized corporal punishment. Tonight, dreams of a new school in Miami's Overtown area are on hold again. Dade's school board has decided to reopen bids for construction on Booker T. Washington Junior High School. And as News Center 7's Michael Williams reports, the move only creates more controversy over the plan. Here's Michael's Nightside report.
It's been around since 1926, and for alumni, the Booker T. Washington School came to symbolize the promise of a better future for its black students. One need look no further than Dade's school board member William Turner to spot a Booker T. graduate. And today, one needed look no further than the board to see the raging debate over Booker T's future. The board has decided to reopen bids for construction of a new Booker T. school. And that raised protest from 3W Construction. It won a minority contract to build the new facility late last year, but the deal fell through amidst complaints that the $24 million price tag was too high and cries that 3W was splitting up the contract with 2 white-owned firms. And today, 3W could only find 1 board member supporting its cause.
Now, I don't see any reason at all for this board not to put it back out for bid, because you've got a contractor right now who got a valid bid from this board.
We need to, in fact, put Booker T out there so that it can be built. And because the longer it takes us to put it out there, the more money it's going to cost us.
Booker T alumni have been waiting 10 years for a new school, and they just want it built, no matter who does the job.
When I say the lifeblood of Overtown is Booker T. Washington, it is.
The next detour along the way for those who nurture the dream of a new Booker T. Washington High School is court. Next week, the 3W Corporation will try to block the school board's effort to find a new contractor for this job. Michael Williams, News Center 7 tonight, Overtown.
Here are some of the other stories making headlines tonight. Florida Senator Lawton Childs wants to know why the Reagan administration hasn't done anything about nursing home problems. Senator Childs and other members of the Senate Aging Committee released a report today saying over 30% of the nation's nursing homes are substandard. However, nursing homes in Florida fared much better in this report. A tense hostage drama in Miami Beach today. It was all make-believe, however. Police and paramedics were practicing for a real emergency. And Miami's oldest television station, WTVJ Channel 4, has been sold to Lorimar Telepictures. The almost $2 billion deal also includes several television stations owned by Miami-based Stora Communications.
Well, this is a special edition of News Center 7 tonight, celebrating South Florida at Century Village in Pembroke Pines.
Coming up, political clout in the condos.
I'm Dr. John Miller. Tomorrow night on the 6 o'clock hour of News Center 7, the Air Force's Water Survival School at Homestead Air Force Base as we continue to celebrate South Florida.
Now at your Dade Broward Volkswagen dealers, the deals are so special, they're practically steals. Thousands of Jettas, Golfs, GTIs, and Wolfsburg Limited Editions are there for the taking. But these Volkswagens are going fast, so hurry in. It all ends May 31st. And missing out would be a crime. Volkswagen Steal of a Deal, now extended through May 31st at your Dade Broward Volkswagen dealers.
Terminix. I found this beam crumbling in the basement. I think it's termites. You can almost hear them inside the wood. They're going, my wife can explain it. Yeah. See, like that. They're wrecking the place.
If the thought of termites is bugging you, call Terminix. We'll keep your entire home safe from any termite damage. And we guarantee it.
They're gone. No more.
Terminix. No more bugs, no more worries. When 100 nursery school kids were exposed to spinal meningitis, 2 pharmacists from Eckerd Drugs worked overtime against time itself. Mixing enough antibiotic, dose by dose, for each and every child. And through their dedication and concern, they stopped an epidemic before it started. To an Eckerd pharmacist, nothing's more important than your health.
The Florida Everglades and Old Milwaukee both mean something great to these guys. The Everglades means airboating, as close as you can get to flying without leaving the ground. And Old Milwaukee means a great beer. Cold, crisp Old Milwaukee beer and smooth, golden Old Milwaukee Light.
There's nothing like the flavor of a special place in Old Milwaukee beer.
Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light.
Hey guys, it doesn't get any better than this.
We're back live celebrating South Florida at Century Village in Pembroke Pines. In just 25 years, more than 50,000 people have moved to this Southwest Broward community. In the foreseeable future, that figure is expected to double, shifting South Florida's population base and its political clout.
Mayor Charles Flanagan has watched Pembroke Pines grow. He was mayor for 6 years in the 1970s, a decade when the city's population shot up 125%. He's now back in office as mayor again. He faces the problems of an even larger community. Mr. Mayor, thank you for joining us live tonight. As Sally said earlier, the population of Pembroke Pines is about 57,000 now. It is expected to be about 100,000 by the year 2000. What's the average age of the population?
I think the average age, we have a very well diversified city, and I'd say the senior citizens in this city are approximately, on a percentage-wise, about 30%.
Is that growing?
It is growing with the advent of Century Village coming in, certainly.
If the age is increasing, and we hear so much talk about the condo crowd, how's that changed the political profile of Pembroke Pines?
Well, I don't think that it's going to have any tremendous effect because 2 years ago, the last city election we had, districting was imposed, meaning that each district, and Century Village is in a district out here, has a commissioner. The mayor has to run at large. So certainly I think all the commissioners, even though they're from other areas of the city and other districts, will certainly listen to any problems, legitimate problems, that whether it be Hollybrook or any condominium, Century Village. So.
We heard a report earlier tonight that because of the political clout of the elderly, especially in South Florida, we see things such as the cost of living increase or the COLAs on Social Security payments being increased even when the general inflation level doesn't justify that increase. Is there an inordinate or an unfair balance of influence in the condo set?
No, I don't think so. I think that the people that, the majority, that live in condos are over 55 and in the 60s, and they use their American right to vote. And a lot of the younger people that live in my city and other cities throughout Broward County don't use that right. So they have a legitimate voice in the community, and they become very active in the community.
And it's a voice we're going to hear for many years to come in South Florida.
I hope so, certainly.
Mayor Flanagan, thanks for joining us tonight. Mayor Charles Flanagan, the mayor of Pembroke Pines.
Well, we're celebrating South Florida at Century Village in Pembroke Pines. Bob's up next with more on our wet and wild weather. His forecast is next on News Center 7 tonight.
Celebrate, South Florida, celebrate.
Shh, I don't want my kids to know I am eating the last Whitney's blueberry yogurt. I buy a dozen every week, but I always hide a couple behind the broccoli. Can you blame me? Look at this, a whole blueberry. And it's no fluke. Whitney's blueberry yogurt is loaded with whole blueberries. And this one is all mine.
Whitney's yogurt, smooth, creamy, all natural. But it's our fruit that makes people fanatics.
Before Whitney's, I was a very generous person.
50 years ago, we opened our very first office. Today, we're Centrust, the largest savings bank in Florida, with every banking service you need to bring harmony to your financial planning. We've grown from one office in Miami to 45 offices throughout the state. And now that we're #1, that's where we intend to stay. Centrust Savings Bank, where your future is our future.
A scientific interview with the world's first average car buyer. Now, here's the first question. You're looking for a four-door sedan. Which would you rather have? A Toyota Tercel, a Nissan Sentra, or a Volkswagen Golf? Oh, for the same money, you could also have a four-door Honda Civic. The four-door Civic. It'll blow you away.
$1,001, $1,002. Hi, I'm Ro Ellis. Take it from the butcher. One of the best tools you've got for testing the temperature of your charcoal is right in the palm of your hand. If you can hold your hand over the coals for no more than 2 or 3 seconds, the temperature is perfect for cooking steaks and hamburgers, and use the right charcoal. Fast-starting Royal Oak. Its traditional blend produces that great outdoor flavor, and Royal Oak Plus adds that sweet taste of mesquite. Get Royal Oak, or Royal Oak Plus in the bright red bags. Royal Oak. Get it right.
Can you believe he's here?
I'm impressed that he got out. Bob Soper got right out there in the weather this evening to bring it to us at 6 o'clock. He's one frontline weatherman, isn't he?
He looks a little bit more dried out than he did at 6 o'clock. The weather finally let up enough to let him come here. He couldn't even make it here earlier. Let's check in and see how he's doing now.
Nice to see you, Bob.
I'll tell you, Peter and Sally, I about got my socks knocked off back at the station this evening. As you may have heard over the microphone and whatnot, some of the big blast of thunderstorms that we picked up over there, it was really a mess, and it's finally settled down. The severe thunderstorm watches and warnings are over for the moment, at least, and hope that they don't have to be put up again tomorrow afternoon, but we'll keep tabs on that for you as the day goes on. But as far as right now, things have settled down, and the temperatures don't look all that awful either. In Miami, it's 72 degrees, Miami Beach 73, Kendall 69. No report from Fort Lauderdale. The thermometer's probably underwater. Key West 76 degrees. The winds out of the southeast at 6. The barometer 29.97. Relative humidity 85%. No surf reading tonight, but it's been hanging around 80, 82 degrees. Rainfall today from only a ½ inch at Palm Beaches to about ¼ inch in Fort Lauderdale. But look at North Miami Beach. 4 1/3 inches of rain. Miami, 3 1/2 inches of rain. By the way, we're now about 2 inches above normal for the month of May, so goodbye drought. Little Havana, 4 3/4 inch, and in West Dade, over 5 inches of rain. And by the way, in parts of West Dade, we did have some storm damage from the strong winds. At least one house roof got damaged by that. Take a look at the loop on the radar picture. It starts at 2:30 this afternoon. Look at Lake Okeechobee, and now watch that mess develop and continue to move right down the state. This is about every hour, hour and a half or so during the day. You can see that, and then at 9:30, it was just a mess. Just watch it one more time, and we can see the red areas. Those are the thunderstorms, and that was what was moving across us as we spoke to you at 6 o'clock this evening. Once again, see how it moves down toward the southeast, and it was just clipping the north part of Dade County, and then it decided to go straight south. And right now, a lot of that, I can tell you, is just ground return because of the inversion layer created by the rain. There are also some thunderstorms, though, up around Lake Okeechobee, and there are some showers around. We still see some lightning, but it's not severe, at least as we speak. Now, across the rest of South Florida and across the state, here's the way the computer looks. We'll take a look at that. There we go. The satellite picture, of course, showing those blossoms over the northern part of the state. And we can look at the next thing. What do we have, Scotty? Maybe there's a computer problem. A little computer break there. Yeah, okay. Now we've got Skyscan, which, hello. Tomorrow in Florida, highs from about 82 to 89, clear skies in North Florida, partly cloudy central, scattered thunderstorms in the southern part of the state. That front's going to be coming down over some breaking up, but we can't count out some thunderstorms tomorrow. It is rainy season. Rainy season starts in the middle of May. Another look at Skyscan. Now you can see there are a lot of thunderstorms around, not only in South Florida, but also up around the Carolinas. They've had some real horrendous problems up there as well, with some golf ball size hail and strong winds and lots of rainfall. For tonight, low temperatures in the northern half of the nation, 30s and 40s, southern half, 50s, 60s, and of course, we'll stay in the 70s tonight. We've got a lot of humidity around. Then tomorrow, temperatures will bounce up there into the 90s out in the southwestern U.S. into West Texas, 50s and 60s in the northwest, same way in the northeast, 70s and 80s over the southeast. Here's the way we shape up for tonight. Mostly cloudy, scattered showers or thunderstorms. There's still some lightning out there. Overnight lows 67 to 73. Tomorrow, variably sunny, good chance of more thunderstorms. Highs will range from 84 to 88. Boating forecast winds out of the west to northwest, about 10 knots. Seas 1 to 3 feet. Bay waters a light chop. The next low tide at 1:24 in the morning. High tide at 7:22. Sunrise at 6:32 and sunset at 8:03. So I can tell you right now, as I say, as we were driving out here, we could still see some lightning flashes, but the thunderstorms are no longer at severe limits, and it looks like we're through with this, at least for tonight. But any more rain we get is going to add to that flooding problem in some of those streets that are always flooded. It's a South Florida phenomenon, you know. Sally and Peter?
Thank you, Bob.
I think some of the weather short-circuited Bob's weather maps and machines there.
You should go back in the rain, do it.
Well, here is Wednesday's Night File. The U.S. has new information linking Syria to the twin terrorist attacks on the Rome and Vienna airports. One official says there's good evidence the terrorists were trained in a Syrian-run camp. Tonight, President Reagan has vetoed a Senate bill barring a Saudi Arabian arms deal, but opponents are not giving up. They're trying to drum up enough votes to override the veto. And despite his indictment on embezzlement charges, Jackie Presser has been re-elected to another 5-year term as president of the Teamsters Union.
Coming up next, the Canes get ready to encounter the Catamounts in the regional playoffs.
And the legend of the refrigerator grows, and so does the refrigerator. Brett and all the sports next as we continue to celebrate South Florida.
And now, 30 seconds of common sense. How to decide whether to get a new Hyundai or to wait. If you go to your Hyundai dealer now, you can drive out in a new Excel, thoroughly equipped from $49.95. Or you can wait. I suggest that you rush to your Hyundai dealer because life is what's happening while you're waiting.
Test drive an Excel at one of these Miami Fort Lauderdale Hyundai dealers. We sell cars that make sense. So hurry.
The stars are gonna twinkle and shine. How they'll shine this evening about 9:15. My loving arms.
They say time is what you make it. At Citizen, we prefer making it beautiful.
Around you, around 9:15.
Citizen, only at JCPenney stores with fine jewelry departments.
It's Mayfair. It's Mayfair.
Shopping, dining, and nightlife in the heart of Coconut Grove.
It's Mayfair.
Dad? Dad, are you up? Dad, Mom says another person just told her how much you could have saved if you had bought the new car at Williamson Cadillac. Do you want to hear how much, Dad?
If you want to get the best price on a new Cadillac, you ought to come by Williamson. Otherwise, it can really be a jungle out there.
Dad, Mom says she told you to go to Williamson, and Uncle Leo told you to go to Williamson, and then...
Hurricanes play the Catamounts tomorrow. I know you do this at 6, but for the sake of the evening viewers, maybe you could tell us what a catamount is.
I found out a catamount is about 50 cents. No, but it's a mountain lion apparently in West Carolina, and this is the West Carolina Catamounts. Doesn't quite have the ring of the Atascawumpus cats in a little town in Texas, but it's pretty close. And anyway, the University of Miami will take them on tomorrow night in the Atlantic Regional competition. Outstanding in this regional. In fact, Miami head coach Ron Frazier rates this year's tournament field as one of the toughest the Hurricanes have ever played in. That is a pretty hefty statement considering this is Miami's 15th postseason appearance in the last 16 years. Big question mark for Miami is their pitching or lack of it. Ron Frazier has used 11 different pitchers this year, but has not been able to come up with 3 guys who can win.
We have not wanted to do it that way. We've been forced into it, but it's been successful. We found a way that we could still win by not having the starters who go 7, 8 innings to get to Rather. We've had to use 2 or 3 to get to Rather.
Finding someone to get the game to Rick Rather hasn't been easy. This year's ace, Dan Davies, is 9-1, but tendinitis in his left shoulder leaves him questionable. Kevin Sheary, who won 3 games in last year's World Series, has made only 3 appearances this year and won't play in the postseason due to back problems. Still, the players are confident they'll get the job done.
If you can have the success that we have had without finding a rotation, then there really isn't a problem.
Major League Baseball tonight. Baltimore Orioles, California Angels tonight in Baltimore. Look at this defense. Gary Pettis of the Angels shot down the left field line, speared. Fine play by Juan Beniquez. Then Juan gives it a little theatrics. Yeah, hey, I caught that. How do you like that manager, Earl Weaver, huh? What do you think, Earl? Oh, come on. Boy, you're tough. Hey, tough crowd. He liked this one. Bottom of the 7th, Cal Ripken, screamer to left, 2-run homer, and the Orioles go on to win this one by a final of 2-1. John Cangelosi of Miami went to Dade North, is a sensational rookie with the Chicago White Sox. This is the first inning, 2 out. He steals second against Toronto. Then he came in to score on a single, and that made it 1-0 in favor of the Chicago White Sox. Blue Jays come back in the top of the 2nd. 2 on. Cliff Johnson sends it deep to center. Cangelosi gives this one all he's got, but he can't get to it. 3-run homer, 3-1. Now, top of the 4th, Tony Fernandez at the plate. He sends it deep to center. Now, look at this. Cangelosi on the run. Watch that defense. Look out for that wall. John, whoa. Right now in the 8th inning, they are tied at 4-4. Elsewhere in the American League, the New York Yankees beat the Oakland A's by a final of 10-4. Detroit down Seattle 7-4. Minnesota is shutting out Boston 2-0. They are in the 6th inning. Kansas City and Texas all tied up 1-1 in the 9th. And Cleveland is beating Milwaukee 4-2 in the 6th inning. The surprising San Francisco Giants in a first-place tie with Houston in the National League West, hosting the Eastern Division leaders, New York Mets. No contest. First inning, Darryl Strawberry's double with the bases loaded, scores 2. Then, same inning, Howard Johnson comes up, bases again loaded, he doubles. That made it 4-0, huh? How about these seats? Great seats. Yeah, it's a relative of a broadcaster. They said, yeah, we'll get you good seats. New York won that one, by the way, final of 7-4. Also in the National League, Chicago and Atlanta are tied 8-8. They are in the 9th inning of that game. St. Louis beats Cincinnati, or is beating Cincinnati 8-3. They are in the 8th. And Pittsburgh down Houston 2-1. 2 other games are just underway out on the West Coast. The Houston Rockets in white will try to pull one of the biggest sports upsets in the year later tonight to knock off the defending champion LA Lakers out of the playoffs. Rockets lead the series 3-1. Victory in LA tonight ends the series and sends them on to face Boston in the finals.
Situations before, and this is as tough as you can get without being out of it.
The series is, 3 games from being over, and it's 1 game at a time for us, so we're coming out, we're going to establish our game early, and we're going to play that way.
They're going to play it 1 game at a time. I think that's a startling development in sports. I'm shocked that a team would take that approach.
I'm glad somebody thought of that.
Mark of a winner. 1 game at a time. What an idea.
Thank you, Brett.
Well, our celebration of South Florida continues tomorrow at Homestead Air Force Base, and I'll take you for the ride of your life on an F-16 fighter jet.
And on Friday, we'll drop anchor in the Port of Miami, and our consumer unit goes cruising to the Caribbean.
And that wraps up this special edition of News Center 7 tonight from Century Village in Pembroke Pines. I'm Sally Fitz.
And I'm Peter Ford. For Bob, Brett, and all of us on the News Center 17, thanks for joining us. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow night at Homestead Air Force Base.
Good night.
Come and share the good times, cause we can make them great. Celebrate South Florida.
would you like a great deal on a custom van? Here it is, factory direct from all Potamkin locations for only $15,998. A custom high top with front and rear air conditioning, color TV, custom interior, and much, much more. Factory direct for only $15,998.
Potamkin, Hialeah, Miami Lakes, Potamkin and Broward, Potamkin Northwest 7th Avenue, Potamkin, Hialeah, 103rd Street, Potamkin, Cutler Ridge.
Factory direct for only $15,998.
Dad, send the money by noon, or you won't be coming to my graduation in June.
Send the money today, or your father and I couldn't be washed away. Darling, I've run into a little trouble. Could you send $150 on the double?
To send someone money fast, come to Western Union. We'll make sure it gets to any of our 9,000 locations, usually in 15 minutes or less.
That's okay. I'll get the door.
Western Union, the fastest way to send money.